right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the AngryJoe Show. I'm AngryJoe here with OtherJoe and OtherJoe, and today we're going to be reviewing Dune, the brand new Denis Villeneuve film that just came out, starring the guy Poe Dameron from Star Wars and Timothy from Little Women. They're both in this movie, and we're here to review it. It just came out over the weekend. We went and saw it day one. I love Denis Villeneuve. All of his previous pictures are some of my favorite films ever made. He's a great director. I loved his Blade Runner films, like the one with Harrison Ford in it and the one with Ryan Gosling in it. Those are both my favorite Blade Runner movies, the two that he made. I think that Blade Runner and Dune are very similar. Dune is almost a sort of Blade Runner-esque movie, but we'll get into that later in our review. The theater experience when we went, me, Joe, and OtherJoe and OtherJoe, we all went to the theater, and it was sort of a bad experience. That you can really see why movie theaters are kind of dying out, and sort of streaming services like Disney Plus are taking over. Because while we were there, the film reel didn't get loaded properly, and it broke actually, and the file was corrupted. So they had to fix that before we could watch the movie. So it took us like 2.5 hours before we could actually watch it, which is actually the length of the film was about 2.5 hours, which for someone like me, that's sort of like a long time to sit and watch a movie. It's sort of a Marvel epic. Like if Marvel was making 2.5 hour long movies, they would be like the epics, like your in-game sort of movies. Anyway, before we get too far into the review and mostly my opinions, OtherJoe and OtherJoe, what did you guys think of the film? What did you guys think of the movie, the picture?
Yeah, so I don't know how to read, so I didn't read the Dune book. I try to read sometimes, but the letters and words, they get mixed up, and I get angry. So yeah.
You know, that's a really interesting point, OtherJoe. I sort of felt the same way when I was watching the movie. Moving to the sort of actors, like I mentioned, Poe Dameron is in this movie, and Timothy from Little Women is in this movie. We also have other great actors like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy and Aquaman from Game of Thrones. Those guys are in this movie too, and I really liked that. They had a lot of good scenes. The acting was great. I have to say the film had great themes and really good fights. I think the film had some really great fights in it, some fight scenes. The acting and the fighting was great. I almost forgot to mention the love interest of the film, who plays Tom Holland's girlfriend in the Spider-Man movie. She's in this movie and plays the love interest of Timothy, who is the son of Poe Dameron in the film, who is king. Poe Dameron is king in this movie, and I thought that was a really fitting thing, because he sort of got shortchanged by that bastard Ryan Johnson in the Star Wars movies, but we'll get into all that later. OtherJoes, what did you guys think of the acting in the film? How was the acting for you guys?
Yeah, so I thought this movie was really good. I think it'll go over lots of people's heads, maybe people who don't look at the news a lot, like me, who aren't in tune to what's going on in the world. But if you might notice that this movie takes place in the desert, all right? And what could this desert be a metaphor for? It is the desert of possibilities that Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema are leaving the progressives and the Democratic Party with their obstructionism. So, this is something that I think is going to go over lots of people's head, but clearly Denis Villeneuve put the desert in there for a reason, and, this is the reason. And I understand lots of people aren't informed, don't watch a lot of Hassan Piker like I do, but that's there. That's there if you're willing to look for it.
Yeah, I like the sound, and I like the pictures, but also I thought movie too long, too, and too many characters. I think most viewers are gonna get confused.
Yeah, no. I felt the same way. I felt the same way the whole time we were all watching the movie together. I sort of agree with that in a lot of different ways. I gotta say the music in the film, it was great. I mean, Hans Zimmer, he never messes up, and here on Dune, he definitely brought his A game, sort of like he did with Fallout 4 and Modern Warfare 2. The soundtracks for those Hans Zimmer also made. So we love Hans Zimmer in the AngryJoe household. We just listen to his music all the time. So seeing him in Dune was great. I loved Hans Zimmer in Dune. He was one of my favorite characters. I gotta say, the ending of the film being a cliffhanger, and the plot twist that Dune was actually titled Dune Part 1 was very deceptive. And I gotta say, I could make an entire different Angry Rant video about that being some sort of like corporate ploy to just exploit working people for their money. And I find that a little bit offensive, that you're sort of trailing people along just to drain cash from them in ticket sales. Like, they could tell the whole story of Dune in 2 hours, easy. I mean, like, how many pages is the book? A couple hundred? Come on. I mean, a script is a couple hundred pages. So they could have done the same thing with the book in the movie and just made the one thing the one thing. It's like the Harry Potter movies. So, I just feel like the movie didn't have to be one movie. It could have been one movie, and it didn't have to be two movies. I just thought that was a little unfair to the customers, and corporations need to sort of get it together and stop exploiting people for money. Anyway, before we go any further, today's sponsor is Disney Plus. It's one of the great streaming services on the market right now. You can watch all your favorite Marvel movies, Star Wars movies, National Geographic. You can check out the new Marvel shows. You can see Black Widow. You can see Loki. Some of the shows that are exclusive to Disney Plus only feature canon that's going to be important in the next dozen Marvel movies, so you got to be sure to watch those. Disney Plus is a great service. I watch Disney Plus every day. I've seen every Marvel movie half a dozen times at least, and I can't wait to watch the next 10 Marvel movies over and over as well. Disney Plus, only $7.99 market price, but you can get it for $7.89 with the code AngryJoeShow at checkout. So be sure to check that out, link in description. Thank you to Disney for sponsoring today's video. And Dune, don't forget, Dune comes out on Disney Plus today, so you can stream Dune on Disney Plus today. Use code AngryJoe for 60% off. Thanks. Anyway, back to the review. OtherJoes, what did you guys think of the cliffhanger ending, making the movie two movies? How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that the director Denis Villeneuve, I think if you're looking for cinematography and editing and sound effects and visual effects and production design and costume design and acting and writing and directing, I think he is the go-to guy with a little added bit of political commentary. I think Denis Villeneuve is the guy that you're gonna be looking for if you want those particular things in your movie.
Yeah, I also felt that way, the same way you felt about that. we have we have to talk about the worms in the film, the big CGI worms. I thought they were really cool, the worms. Anyway, we have a guest today on the program. We have on the review, we have a special guest who's here to give his thoughts on the film. An excellent movie critic, one of my favorite Twitch.tv streamers. He is a up-and-coming revolutionary. He is a woke bae, maybe your woke bae. He is a provocateur gamer, much like myself and the other Joes. He is a socialist one percenter, a multimillionaire. He's also got his start as a Che Guevara impersonator. Ladies and gentlemen, Hassan Piker.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm Hassan Piker. Everything I said about Biden is true, you idiot. Didn't he go to war and literally lose his eye because some mujahideen, a brave soldier, f***ed his eye hole with their dick? Isn't that how he lost his dump thigh?
Hassan, what was your opinion on the new Dune film?
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Thank you, Hassan. That was a very nuanced and profound view that I hadn't considered before. Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Hassan Piker.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm Hassan Piker. Everything I said about Biden is true, you idiots.
Twitch.tv/Hassan Piker. Now, it's time for me to talk about the things that weren't great about the movie. The thing that wasn't great about the movie is that it could have been directed by Rian Johnson, the bastard who ruined Star Wars and killed all of your childhoods. Now, thank God the movie wasn't made by Rian Johnson, or I probably wouldn't have even gone and seen it. I hate Rian Johnson for what he did to Star Wars and what he did to Knives Out. The things he did to those movies make him the worst person on the planet. If you see Rian Johnson in person, do what you got to do, for Star Wars, for Luke Skywalker. Rian Johnson killed Luke Skywalker. And if Luke Skywalker had been in Dune, he wouldn't have died, because Dune's a much better movie than the movies Rian Johnson makes. It's like Star Wars and Dune go hand in hand. Star Wars and Dune are the same movie, really, when you think about it. There's a father, the king, Poe Dameron, of course, in Star Wars, and there's the son, Timothy from Little Women is the son, just like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, you see? Is it all making sense? I was thinking about that the whole time I was watching the movie. I was thinking, man, this is just like Star Wars. I mean, it's on a desert planet. It's basically Tatooine. It's, Arrakis is the country, desert country, Iraq. I mean, you can sort of put the pieces together there. They were mining spice. The spice mines on Arrakis were the point. I liked how the king didn't really want to mine the spice on Arrakis. His son became like a revolutionary, much like Hassan Piker. Timothy became the revolutionary son, stood up against his father to free the people, the rebels. It's like Star Wars. That's the synopsis of the film. And no spoilers. This is a spoiler-free review, but there's cool stuff that happens. I'll leave it at that. One moment. It seems we have Hassan Piker is back, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Hassan, welcome back. Oh, you brought your Uncle Cenk.
Hassan, welcome. And listen, you're on because you said some things that a lot of people, including myself, find very offensive. You did not say it on the Young Turks Network.
You said it on the AngryJoe show.
So you said America deserved 9/11. Did you mean that?
No, obviously not. Within context, I was simply referencing the fact that all of the foreign policy decisions and our arming of insurgent groups in the region and our efforts in destabilizing the Middle East have a direct consequence, a boomerang effect, rather, if you will.
But you understand now, and not just now, but you understood fairly soon after you said it, that saying Americans deserve 9/11 is a completely different statement and one that's wrong.
Well, maybe you could chalk it up to English being my second language or whatever you want to chalk it up to. It's messed up that I would even give the opportunity to the right to try to morally grandstand on an issue like this when they are 100% responsible.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, Hassan Piker and Cenk Uygur, thank you guys for coming to the show. Again, to clear all that up, we really appreciate that. We don't want any controversy on this video. Anyway, I give Dune by Denis Villeneuve a 10 out of 10 and a badass seal of approval. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thank you, Joe and OtherJoe, for being here. Do you have any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 10, and it does not get a badass seal of approval. I thought a big disappointment from this movie. I liked the fighting, but there wasn't enough of it.
You know, this movie was dense. You know, it had a lot of spectacle. It was dazzling. You know, I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10. I think there were some problems. I thought that the script could use some work, and there were some edits that I thought maybe weren't so good. But this does get a bad.
Okay, that's great. Thank you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe with notifications turned on. This has been the Angry Joe review of Dune. Thank you.